thanks for tuning in to another video of HISD TV. My name is Miss McCullough and I am the 4th grade math teacher for this video. Hi 4th graders, thank you for tuning in to today's video. I just wanted to say that I am so proud of you guys for 1, tuning in, and for 2, for keeping it going. You guys are so smart, so strong, and you're almost there. So keep going guys, we're almost to the end of the school year. We're just gonna give one more push to work really hard, focus, and study for the star, and then we're all done and ready to relax. Who's ready for summer? Raise your hand. I know I am. All right, everyone. So for today's video, you're going to need 3 things. The first thing you're going to need is a sheet of paper or your math notebook. If you have that, go ahead and take it out. The second thing you're going to need is something to write with, be that a pencil or a pen. Also, if you have a highlighter or a marker nearby, go ahead and take that out as well. And the third and most important thing that you're going to need for today's video, guys, is to find somewhere where you can not only relax, but also focus. So if you need to let others around you know, or if you need to clear your area of distractions, you can go ahead and do so. I'm going to give everybody a couple of seconds to go ahead and gather their items, and then we'll get started. All right, lovely friends, now that you've gathered your items, you're ready to learn, we're going to go in and read the objective. Remember everyone, the objective tells us what we are going to learn and how we're going to apply what we learned in today's video. So let's go ahead and read it together. If you're ready to read it with me, shake your hands like this. Awesome work, 4th graders. Let's get that blood flowing and let's read our objective together. Today we will describe the basic purpose of financial institutions, including keeping money safe, borrowing money, and lending money. All right, everyone, let's jump right into it. So today we are beginning a new unit. It's new units every week. So this unit, guys, we are going to discuss financial literacy. And financial literacy has to do with banks and money. Okay, so you guys can see I have money here, and I wrote the word bank and I drew a picture of kind of what a bank building looks like. Can someone tell me what they think a bank is? Have you guys ever been to a bank? Have you driven by a bank? What do you think a bank does? A bank, everyone, is a place or an institution, so a place where you can go ahead and deposit, so put in money into an account. You can take out money, you can write checks, you can make a savings account. So if you want to put away some money, let's say I have this money here and I want to put away $50 to save it. I can go ahead and open a separate account and put this money away in there so that it's for safekeeping, right? And you can put money in. Let's say I just got paid with this $50. I can take it to the bank, to one of those cool ATM machines, and put it in, and it'll be into my account. So my account has all of my money in it. You can get cards at banks. Sometimes people come out of the bank receiving cards because they opened up a new account. So when you open up an account, they give you a card, right? So we're going to talk about banks and financial institution and words like expenses and income. And I know these words sound different and they sound kind of like big words, right? But it's okay, guys. We are going to understand what all of these things mean by the end of this video. So let's get started with our vocab. And let's start with the first word. This first word here is income. Can everyone say that word with me? Income. Very good. It's like in, like come in, but backwards. Income. Income is money received from goods and services. For example, if we see this picture here, this boy seems like he just raked some leaves and he got money for it, right? So that's income. For example, any job that you do and you get paid for, you receive income. So income is just money that you get from doing goods and services, jobs, okay? So that's income. Our next word is expense. expense. It kind of sounds like the word expensive, right? Yeah, well, an expense is the cost required for a good or a service. For example, the expense of this ice cream cone is $1.75. So expense is anything that you buy that costs money, and the expense is the cost required for that good or that service. For example, if you guys want to buy school supplies, like if I want to buy this glue stick, I would have to pay the expense of this glue stick. Okay, so that's expense. The next word is profit. Everybody say that word with me, profit. Profit. Very, very good, guys. Profit is an amount calculated by subtracting expenses from income. Let's say you guys sold cookies and your cookies were really, really popular. You made really good money selling your cookies in your business, but you have to buy eggs, you have to buy milk, you have to buy all of these things at the store to make your cookies. And you know what, guys? All of these things cost money, right? Money. Now, let's say I got paid for my cookies because I sold a lot of them and I made money from selling them. And I made $100 selling cookies yesterday. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of cookies, right? I made $100, but I didn't just make $100. I actually made less than that because I had to buy the ingredients for my cookies. So let's say that my ingredients, I went to the store and my ingredients cost me $30. Well, I have to subtract the amount that I spent on my ingredients from the money I made. And so 100 minus 30, we all know, is 70. Very good, because 10 minus 3 is 7. So I know that I spent $30 for my cookies. I got paid 100, but I had to subtract that 30, right? Because that's money that I spent on my business. I spent that, I subtracted it from my overall gain, and I got $70 as my profit. And that's the word profit, guys. Our next word is variable expense. Variable expense. These are expenses that vary or change. Vary. They vary or change depending on a person's need. So this means that these expenses change. Vary, guys, is another word for change. So these expenses change every time a person needs them. For example, in this picture, we see gas. The first week is $30. The next week it's $40. And the next week it's $25, right? Gas changes. Maybe we don't drive as much in one month as we would another, right? So that's a variable expense. It means it changes every time. Another example of a variable expense is food or groceries, right? Let's say one week we spend $50 on groceries because, well, we're not going to eat that much. We've been eating out at restaurants, so we just spent $50 on groceries. But the next week we spend $130. Maybe this week we're going to have a party and we're going to have people over and we need to cook, right? And then the third week we spend $75 on average. So this is a variable expense. It just means that it changes. Fixed expense. So I know we just looked at variable expenses and what those were, but now we're going to look at the word fixed expense. And a fixed expense are expenses that occur regularly and remain the same. For example, rent. This month we get charged $800 in rent. The next month, same, $800 in rent. The third month, $800 in rent. So this never changes. It always stays the same. This is a fixed expense, guys. So it never changes. So we have our definition of expense right here. Expense, remember, is just the cost required for a good or a service. So there's two different types of expenses. Remember, we've got our variable and our fixed. So I invite you to write the word variable expense here. And write it with me, guys. Variable expense. And underline it. Variable expense. And remember, a variable expense is an expense that changes depending on need. So it changes depending on need. For example, gas, right? So I'm going to write an example here, and I'm going to write the word gas, like a car. How much gas is going to cost us? I'm going to draw a little car here. Please excuse my car, guys. Go ahead and draw something that can help you remember this. I'm going to draw a car, and I'm going to say that 1 month we spent $35 on gas, but then the next month we spent $60 on gas, right? And then the next month we spent $45 on gas. So you see how that changes every month. We don't know how much money we're going to spend on gas, but we know that it changes depending on our driving, on our need, right? We may need more gas in 1 month than we do in another. So that's our variable expense. It changes. And I'm going to go ahead and also invite you guys to highlight this word changes, because it's important to know these keywords. All right, the next word is fixed expense. Fixed, like I'm going to fix this. Fixed expense. So a fixed expense is something that never changes. It occurs regularly and remains the same. So it remains the same. And is regular. For example, I'm going to write the word Netflix. Netflix is a TV subscription. You can watch different types of TV programs and different types of movies and things like that. So Netflix is an example of a fixed expense, because the Netflix amount that you get taken out of your account, or the amount that you have to pay every month, is the same. And it never changes. Maybe you have to pay this bill every month on the 7th. And every month on the 7th, you get charged the same $5. And the next month, you get the same $5 on the 7th. And the month after that, $5 on the 7th. So that's an example of a fixed expense. And I'm just going to go ahead, guys, and take a dark marker. And I'm going to draw a little dark line down this pie so that we can see that there's two separate expenses, variable and fixed. All right, guys, let's do our next vocabulary activity. So, everyone, do you remember the definition of the word profit? All right, well, here it is. The definition of the word profit is an amount calculated by subtracting expenses from income. Remember your expenses. Those are how much it costs for your service or for your goods that you're going to sell. For example, if it costs $30 for my cookie business to buy my flour, my eggs, my milk, all of my ingredients, it costs $30. That's my expense. And so in order to calculate how much money I really made on my business, I have to subtract how much money I made from sales minus expenses to calculate my overall profit. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own definition for the word profit. And so I want you guys not to copy mine. I want you to think of your own definition for the word profit. And I have it right here, the actual definition, but I want you guys to think of your own way of saying it. Pretend like I didn't know what the word profit meant. How would you explain that to me? Write that down right here in this first box. And I want us to look at the next square right here on the right, and it says characteristics. So what are some characteristics of the word profit? Yeah, right? It has to do with money. We're going to draw a dollar sign. It has to do with money. Yeah, it's the money actually made. Subtract our expenses. And remember, our expenses are the money that we use to make what we're going to sell or to hire the people that we're going to hire for our service, all of that. So we have to subtract our expenses. Examples of profit. I'm going to go ahead and tack down my cookie example. Now I want you guys to create your own example for this word. So I'm going to give you around 15 seconds to start. Go ahead and start now, and you can start drawing out or writing your own example for the word profit. Mine was a cookie business where I had to sell cookies. I remember I had to buy my flour, my eggs, my milk, my sugar, all of my ingredients, right, that I needed to use for my cookies. My ingredients cost money, and they cost $30. So I know that I had to subtract my $100, which is money that I earned selling my cookies, minus my $30, which is my expense, to get my overall profit for $70. All right, everyone, let's move over to non-examples. What are some non-examples of profit? These things are definitely not profit. Yeah, very good. Donations, right? You're definitely not gaining any profit, right? You're just giving them money. You're donating it to them. So that's a non-example of. So let's take a look at these together. Now, this first part here asks us, what is the purpose of a bank? And so just really quick, we're going to answer a few questions about banks and bank accounts today. So I want us to really understand what the purpose of a bank is. Offer checking and savings accounts to customers. So that's the purpose of a bank. Okay, so I just wrote that down, and I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to write that down as well. All right, so let's read our first question. Our question says, Peter currently has $2,389.76 in his bank account. On Friday, he deposited $450 into his account, and then on Saturday, he withdrew $50.98 and spent $13.45 on lunch. How much did Peter have in his account after all of the transactions? So guys, what we're going to do here is we are going to take our highlighter out. This is where I invite you guys to take out your highlighters. Remember, these are tools, not colors. These are markers that we use specifically to highlight and bring important information to our eyes. So we're going to highlight the important info in this question here. So I want someone to tell me what is something that they notice or something that they can go ahead and tell me is important to understand for this question. Exactly, very good. The amount he already has in his account. He has $2,389.76 in his account. That's how much he has overall. So what I'm going to do now that I know this piece of information, I know exactly what it means, I'm going to draw a square that represents Peter's bank account. And I'm going to write the word bank account here. And this square represents Peter's bank account. And in his bank account, he has $2,389.76 in his bank account. And now let's get our highlighter out and keep highlighting the important information. It says on Friday he deposited $450 into his account. Can someone tell me what they think the word deposit means? Yeah, deposit means to put in or kind of like leave, right? So he put $450 into his account. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add $450 because that's how much he put in there. And then let's take out our highlighter. And it says on Saturday he withdrew $56.98. So on Saturday he withdrew. So we have two important words here. We've got the word deposit and we've got the word withdrew. We know that deposit means to put in the bank. So I'm going to put a little arrow down for deposit to show us that, yeah, you're putting money in the bank. What do you think withdrew means? Yeah, withdrew means take out. Very good. So I'm going to draw a little arrow right here. And I'm going to draw this arrow up to show me that, you know what, this is the money that he took out of his account. So he withdrew how much? Very good. He withdrew $56.98. And then let's keep going with our highlighter. It says he spent $13.45 on lunch. Do you guys think that if you spend money on lunch and you go to lunch and this is your total, are we going to add that money into our account or are we going to take that money out of our account? Very good. We're going to take that money out of our account because we're paying for it. So $13.45 on lunch. And our question says, how much did Peter have in his account after all of the transactions? And I'm going to highlight after all of the transactions. This means that after everything was said and done, how much money does Peter have in his account now? So what we're going to do is we're going to follow these operations, but we're going to chunk them down piece by piece and step by step. This question is almost like a big, huge slice of pizza, right? If you have a huge slice of pizza, class, do you eat it all in one big gulp? No, you don't, right? You eat it piece by piece. So that's how we're going to take this question today. So we're going to go piece by piece for this. So we know that Peter has $2,389.76 in his account, and he added in $450. So piece by piece, we're going to do one thing at a time, and we're going to begin with this operation here. So 2,389.76 plus $450. What did I put 0.00 here? Very good. There's no decimal point, so it tells us, you know what, we don't really need a decimal there, but we're going to put it there anyway because it helps us add, right? So we're going to add it all up together. So 6 plus 0 is 6. Very good. 7 plus 0 is 7. Excellent job. We're going to drop that decimal and place it here. 9 plus 0 is 9. Awesome. 8 plus 5 is very good. 13. We're going to regroup. And 1 plus 3 is 4. And 4 plus 4 is 8. Very good. And we're going to put our comma down, and 2 is just going to come down with us. So we know that our total is $2,809.76 now. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross this off because we already did that. Now we have two more things to do. What are the two things we have left to do, fourth grade? Yeah, very good. We have to subtract $56.98 and we have to subtract $13.45. So how are we going to do that? We're going to do that one step at a time. Very good. So I'm going to draw an arrow down to show us that, you know what? We're moving on to the next step. And our next step is to take this total here and we're going to subtract it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and highlight, this is our new total. And each time we're going to get a new total, right? That's how bank accounts work. Every time you spend money or you put money in, you get a brand new total. So we have our total here, and we're going to write down this total again, $2,839.76, and we're going to subtract it from $56.98. All right, everyone, so now we know we have to subtract. So can someone tell me, what is 6 minus 8? Yeah, you can't do that, right? It's like if you guys have $6 and I say, hey, can I borrow 8? You can't let me borrow 8, right, if you don't have enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to regroup. So the 7 becomes a 6, and we're going to make a tens over here to create 16. 16 minus 8 is? Excellent job. 16 minus 8 is 8. And then we're going to see. On to the next one. 6 minus 9 is? Yep, again, we have to regroup. Very good. So I'm going to regroup here. 9 turns into 8, and this 6, again, we could put a 10 there, and it turns into 16. 16 minus 9 is? Very good, 7. Awesome job. Remember, our decimals always line up like buttons on our shirt. And 8 minus 6? 2. Excellent job. 3 minus 5? Up. Very good. We can't do that, so we're going to have to regroup. Very good. So I'm going to put a little 1 here. 13 minus 5? 8. Awesome job. And 7 minus 0? 7. And 2 minus 0? 2. Very good. So now we have a new total, $2,782.78. So we just subtracted that amount from our total, but we have one last step to do. And what is that one last step, fourth graders? Very good. It's to subtract a new amount. And this is the amount he had for lunch, right? So let's subtract this new amount. So 2,782 minus 78. So what I'm going to do is draw another arrow here to tell us we have one more step to do. So I'm going to write down this new total really nice and neat so that I can make sure that I subtract really well. And we're going to subtract 1345. All right, let's do it, fourth grade. 8 minus 5 is? 3. Very good. 7 minus 4 is? 3. Excellent job. 2 minus 3 is? Oh, that's another one we can't do. Very good. We're going to have to regroup. 12 minus 3 is? 9. Excellent. 7 minus 1 is? 6. Very good. 7 minus 0 is? 7. And 2 minus 0 is? 2. Very good. So our grand total is $2,769.33. So this is the total amount Peter had in his account after all of the transactions. So here we see this is how much he deposited. And we added that and we got a total. Then we got our total and we subtracted the amount he withdrew. Remember, withdraw means take out of the bank. And then we got our total, and then we went ahead and subtracted our total from the amount he spent on lunch to create our grand total. Very good, everyone. Excellent job adding today, fourth graders. Let's go ahead and read the math challenge. So everyone, the math challenge for the week is this word problem right here. Let's read this math story together. Ready? The local pet store makes a profit of $59 every day on cat food alone. The store makes an additional profit of $45 on fish food every week. What is the total profit of the local pet store in 1 week? So remember, everyone, your strategies, and also remember that word profit. Good luck, everyone. Okay, friends, that was our video for today. I hope you guys learned a lot with me. Make sure that you're using your strategies and that you keep going. And also, guys, make sure that you're doing the math challenge. The math challenge is a cool way for us to practice what we learn in our videos in a cool, unique way through solving a problem or through real life examples. So make sure that you guys are following along with that. Well, guys, with that being said, I'm wishing you another lovely week full of adventure and learning. Bye, everyone. Please be safe and have a great week.